they'll probably help you at that capacity. And at that point, you as an investor have to do the math. If you're not able to do the math as an investor and then somehow implement, you're just reading the news is all you're doing. You're not actually implementing on anything that's happening. So the first thing is lots of research, lots of understanding on what is a deal. What is a deal to you? For us, we need to have 10% of return from day one. That's been my math from day one investing in real estate. So I leverage everything that we buy, normally 30 to 40% down. We normally receive life insurance loans on our commercial real estate. We use Northmark, who's one of the largest brokers for life insurance in the U.S.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest is a full cycle real estate investor at it for decades, now active as a fund manager based in Calabasas and a commercial real estate expert, Ben Soifer. Ben, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate it.
It's great to have you on here. You're in California, beautiful California. I'm in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. So 2 different places, but beautiful nonetheless. I always like to start off at the top of the show, Ben, by asking folks how they got into the real estate space. How'd you get in?
Out of a need to be able to have something stable, to be able to have something real, a way for me and for my family to be able to receive residual income without potentially firewalls, obstacles, very transparent, as long as you are that type of an individual, you are that type of an investor. If you're going to allow these firewalls to coexist, you won't be able to really understand what's happening with your money, with your investments. So it's really about you making sure that you are able to directly speak to whoever's helping with your rental property, with your investment, whatever it is. Transparency is key.
It's super key. I think before I got my license as a realtor, I was a wholesaler. And so once you become a realtor, there's an increased scrutiny. You have to disclose is what they say. I'm curious to get your perspective.
Sorry.
That's right.
Okay, keep going. I'm with you, Dylan. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm curious to get your perspective as far as people who may be looking at getting into real estate and maybe thinking, what's the best way for me to get in? Should I be a wholesaler? Should I be a realtor? Should I start with 8 units? Should I start with 16 units? Should I get a single family home and turn it into an Airbnb? What would be your advice to folks who may just be starting out?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Just any of those openings is a good way to get into the space. It's really just an avenue for you to be able to see what's happening, who are the players, what's the market, and then for you to really decide, what do you want to do? Do you want to manage contracts as a wholesaler? Because really, that's what you're doing as a wholesaler. You're managing contracts. Do you actually want to manage real estate, but short term? That's a flipper. Do you want to manage real estate long term? Well, that's a long term investor, such as myself. In that case, do you want to have SFRs or 4 units or, industrial or commercial, the types of leases that are involved? Again, all of this takes a lot of knowledge, due diligence, and most importantly, you being curious and wanting to make money and wanting to make sure that that money doesn't just disappear. Make sure that all of a sudden they don't come up with 50% expenses and you're not able to live off of the money you thought you would be able to.
That's right. I think a lot of times people have this kind of shiny object syndrome, especially people who may have done a deal and they think, well, this worked. I did a couple of these. I'm going to move on to the next thing. I think wholesalers many times deal with this. Realtors many times deal with this. I'm curious to get your perspective on building and scaling within one asset class. If someone is really good, let's say, at wholesaling, but of course, they're thinking, well, it's so transactional. Would you advise them to move on to the next step, whether that's fixing and flipping or buying and holding? Would you tell them, hey, you're already a great wholesaler, keep wholesaling?
I don't believe in ever moving on from whatever you're good at. I believe that whatever you're good at, you should continue to do it, and you should organically figure out on your own where you want to be. And at some point, if wholesaling or flipping or owning SFRs or units, residential units, and moving on to commercial, if that's where you are organically as an investor, then that's the focus that you take. But you never just leave money on the table. I was a real estate agent for many years, residential, and I hopped around with the cycles just like everybody else. And when the REO cycle was over in 2013, I decided I didn't want to go back to retail real estate. Everybody asked me, what's going on? Why are you retiring? You're 38 years old at that time. I said, listen, it just doesn't do it for me anymore. I enjoy servicing people, but I prefer to service people not by helping them sell their home. I prefer to service people by help them manage their wealth, by helping them achieve their financial freedom goal. So, again, there's many ways of servicing and wholesaling, flipping, owning real estate. It's all a matter of, what are you really good at? Where's your niche? What are you doing different than the others? How hard will you be doing that niche? And will you be consistent at it? And guess what? Just like Warren Buffett, it's the compounding effect, right? If you're not going to be able to do something consistently for an extended amount of time, there's not going to be the really long-term wealth. It takes 5 years, 10 years, sometimes a little bit longer to really achieve long, life-lasting, potentially even generational wealth.
I want to ask you about getting into the commercial space and what your progression was like, especially coming from the background of a realtor. Oftentimes, I know a lot of realtors would love to be in the commercial space. It can be a little bit trickier to get in general, but definitely I would say as a realtor, how did you get into commercial?
Um,
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So for me, like I said, it was always being an investor. At the age of 21, when I bought my first home, I bought it because the math was there. I was presented with an opportunity by my landlord to syndicate a rental property right after the 1994 earthquake. The home was 141,000, and I was a student in CSUN, and I couldn't qualify for the loan, but I knew how to manage stuff, and that's what the landlord saw. He saw that I know how to manage stuff. So he said, well, if you bring a buyer that can qualify and you have a rental, then you're hopefully positive $300-400 a month, and now you have something going. And that's exactly what the math that I did. Very simple math. The more rentals I get, the more properties I manage, the more I'll be wealthier in 5-6 years per se. Now it becomes busy because you want to manage assets that's not so difficult to manage, and that's what got me going in commercial, from residential, from multifamily. I said, I prefer to do the bigger better, and I got my first building in 2002, where I did a 1031 exchange. I raised up the rents, and 18 months later, I sold it for about $1 million more. I took the money and I moved it to Houston. And that's when I bought my first shopping center in Houston in January of 2005. And that particular asset has been an amazing, property for us to have. And now it's part of the fund, actually, the private equity fund. So essentially, what I've done my whole life is scale up with what my focus is within the real estate space, understand who the players are, understand what I want to do, just like you said, Dylan, what made me want to specifically go into commercial after doing residential. Because I was thinking constantly as an investor. I'm in real estate because I'm an investor first. I'm doing this podcast because I would like to reach out to other um, family offices and other investment companies that have deals in Texas, in Florida, in other states that we are looking to buy. So they can reach out to us. They can go on moneymanagement.today. For those that are not in the business for a long time or would like to potentially check different asset classes, there's the book that we wrote, which is a manual for the ultimate real estate investor. I go through every single real estate asset type and what an investor needs to have credit-wise and knowledge-wise in order to have that asset. And it's a short book. It's only 90 pages. All proceeds go to the foundation. It's all about helping. It's all about giving back good karma, and then other individuals, other companies, they want to do business with you. So you got to let them know what you're looking for. So that's what I'm all about. I'm always, sharing what it is that how we're growing, how could others potentially join us and work with us. And I could tell you that commercial, and specifically the fund, which is the last chapter of my book, that's the way for a limited partner, which I want to be one day. I want to be able to sit in my boat or wherever, and I want to just go on the website and see exactly the properties that the fund owns and have the transparency that all of us deserve. That's really the most important thing about transacting. And that's why I got into commercial real estate, because to me, it's a phenomenal space, but it's a little bit like the Wild West. So I'm trying to clean it up. We're trying to put guidelines. We're trying to really, familiarize and allow the, investor audience understand they don't have to pay a lot of money in order to get all this information. This information is free. And there are real people that you can transact with as opposed to bots. So
No
that's the
question.
big thing. Everybody's looking at,
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
who's responding to me. The most important thing is it a real person?
At this point, you do have to be aware of that, right? With all the ways that people
100%.
can communicate instantaneously, especially in real estate. I think real estate is in many ways the biggest adopter of AI over many other industries. I want to ask you about managing some of these deals. You mentioned the Deal Shopping Center in Houston. You're based in Calabasas. And
Yeah.
in general, when you have these deals that are larger, maybe more involved, and then you're also not physically there, how are you managing them? And then also, how did you build teams without being in the state?
So it's very important that you have a very clear organizational structure. And with us at Money Management, there's a management company for every single asset. So that shopping center in Houston has a management company that's boots on the ground, that the tenants are familiar with, because normally we don't even change the management companies when we purchase the assets, unless of course there's an issue. So the businesses, they don't really even feel the change, and at that point all we do is just better the property. So another shopping center that we purchased in San Antonio back in 2022, we were able to really spruce it up, and all the tenants were very happy. And that's really what it takes. It takes for you as an asset manager, which is what I am, to manage the management companies, right, that are managing the assets. So that's how we do it. You got to have boots on the ground everywhere. You got to have cameras almost everywhere. You got to have people that are responsive everywhere. If they're not responsive, they cannot be part of your team.
No
That's
question.
it.
I mean, the communication is utterly key. And when the buck stops with you, you got to be able to reach out to somebody, especially if you're not physically there in person. I want to ask you about finding deals. You mentioned the shopping center deal in Houston. How did you come across that deal? And ultimately, when you're looking at these deals, are you thinking about the tenants that are going to be involved there as well? Or in many cases, because they may already be occupied, are you thinking about, well, how are the businesses there and how are they currently performing?
It's looking for deals is an art. I really it's something that takes a lot of years and a lot of experience to be able to be good at, and some people never are good at it, because if you lack the execution part of looking at a deal, nothing's gonna happen. So, to make a long story short, like I said, I've been in the business for 30 years. So I'm a pretty organized individual. I am one of those first systems guy that when it came out with a CRM, with a top producer system, I am in touch with my brokers, with affiliates, with accountants, with attorneys. In the book that I wrote, I said our best friend is always the affiliate, whoever gets us the deal. It doesn't always have to be a broker. It could just be whoever knows about a deal. Now, at that point, again, are they a professional management company, accountant, real estate agent? If so, great. They'll probably help you at that capacity. And at that point, you as an investor have to do the math. If you're not able to do the math as an investor and then somehow implement, you're just reading the news is all you're doing. You're not actually implementing on anything that's happening. So um, the first thing is lots of research, lots of understanding on what is a deal. What is a deal to you? For us, we need to have 10% of return from day one. That's been my math from day one investing in real estate. So I leverage everything that we buy, normally 30 to 40% down. We normally receive life insurance loans on our commercial real estate. We use Northmark, who's one of the largest brokers for life insurance in the US. Now they do even more. Um, they're out of Houston as well. And as far as being able to get the numbers that you need, today we need to buy roughly around 8 cap if we're getting debt around 6 in order to receive 10% ROI. So again, for those of you that this doesn't quite resonate, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you if you are an accredited investor. If you're an affiliate, a broker, if you have a deal that we might want to buy, exchange, again, do that. But other than, the luck of looking for deals, the communication you need to have with the other party on the other side to look for the motivation. That's something that's, again, experience and knowledge. And that's why you want to syndicate a deal if you're not able to do it yourself. And that means just bring Dylan to the plate, bring Ben Soifer to the plate, bring somebody to the plate, but make the deal. Don't just read the news. That's my point. Your second question was, how do we get the deals, right?
Yeah.
I kind of explained just through lots of connections, relationships. And then what else?
Managing these deals remotely and then finding the teams, right? It can be
Uh,
challenging, right?
Everything can be challenging. Listen, if you go on my social media, I rollerblade, I bike ride. I have investors, friends of mine for the last 15 years. They're like, Ben, how are you doing all of these things and you're doing that? It's exactly why I'm in commercial real estate. It's exactly why I know which properties to buy and which properties not to buy. It's the ones that have more headache, but potentially more upside. I don't do them. Okay. But if it doesn't have headache and it still has upside, I do them. So you ask me, how are you able to find them? It's a numbers game. As long as your filter is good enough, as long as you're very keen on the areas that you're looking at, and I always go off of where's the population growth? Where is the market, the economy going? Where are the jobs? That's why Texas has been a phenomenal winner.
Yep.
Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, but, Florida and other areas are amazing as well. The second part of it, of buying real estate, is having operators that want you as their landlord. If you've done that, that means you're a really good landlord. And now you're able to go purchase buildings at 50, 60% occupancy and bring some operators with you. And we have those. We have a golf operator. We have a few dentists, that are looking for locations. And that's the thing, that if you're able to put together the pieces, at that point, you decide how are you part of everything.
Ben, we are coming up on time here. Where can folks go if they'd like to reach out to you, or if they may have a deal, commercial deal, maybe in Texas, maybe in California, maybe in Florida, that they'd like you to take a look at?
Oh, moneymanagement.today, right on our homepage. You could see all of the different links that we have as far as our investor page, our broker affiliate page. You're able to see information about different investment opportunities that we have, such as the $33 general portfolio, which is a 1031 exchange opportunity. We have the book that's on the homepage, which we're actually have giveaway on Amazon. So I definitely recommend for anybody that wants to potentially even listen to. We also have an audio version of the book, so that's also great. And of course, we have our course, which is Commercial Investment Debt Consultant, which is really a 50-minute video that allows any professional to really understand 20% of the knowledge needed in order to be a successful commercial real estate investment debt analyzer. Because that's what we're doing. We're analyzing debt. If we're not analyzing debt, that means we're buying cash. I don't know too many successful ground up entrepreneurs such as myself that don't leverage. I can understand lots of big capital whales that buy all cash. I'm not one of those. I leverage. So you can find me on social, Ben Soifer, and make sure you reach out. Make sure you let me know you're a real person. And I'm very thankful for your time, Dylan. It's really been a pleasure. I'm very happy that we connected and we're able to help the investor community, the real estate community, in really achieving financial freedom. That's really what this is about.
That's the name of the game. Ben, thank you for coming on the show here today.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.